All right. Hello and welcome back after a long hiatus. Back to Tantrums and Tangents, the talk show. With Saber!
It's true. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. But yeah.
We're back. Everyone.
Yeah, good. Hey, all of you guys out there, my emote just went live. So when you subscribe to my channel, type in VINGG lowercase r uppercase r AD. So Vingrad. And more will be coming soon. Pretty sweet. But yeah, so I just wanted to put that, out there, just in case anybody wants to be like, holy shit, emotes! But yeah, just like I am. Yeah, right. So yeah, we've in the past, hey Lols boys, how's it going? Nice.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel good to have an emote?
It's nice, really nice to have an emote. Fuck yeah. The green hair,
Hell yeah.
the radiation sign. If it was possible to zoom in far enough, you could actually see that there's mushroom clouds on the sunglasses. You can't really tell, but
I got to see the original. I can see it.
it's pretty sweet. And there's more coming soon, so that's very cool. But yeah, the last couple of weeks we were talking about like D&D classes and RPGs, and we talked about superheroes and different video game tropes. And today we're going to talk about like different races in fantasy and RPGs. So yeah, let's start off with like what's your favorite like race, non-human fantasy race?
That's a really good question.
Right, because we're talking dwarves, elves, drow.
Right, I was about to say how obscure can I go?
Let's get obscure.
Okay. Cool. To be fair, my actual favorite racial option to pick in and as long as it will let me is like lizard men.
Cool.
or lizard folk if you want to be like PC about it.
Right.
I
How dare you assume my lizard gender?
Yeah. How dare you? I go by Ziz. But anyways, no. So I very much enjoy lizard folk. I think that sort of canonically their super reptilian brains and headspace is super cool. Just because they're not like mammals at all, and that tends to shift how you roleplay things really dramatically.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why I like to play Argonians in the Elder Scrolls games.
Right.
But yeah, they're cool. I like them. If we're talking about super obscure, there's a racial option in Dungeons and Dragons for a race called Kenku. Hey, Siwayne.
Yeah, Siwayne. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. But yeah, Kenku are actually originally from sweet little boys.
You like the Kenku, the birdmen?
Right.
Right.
They originally come from Japan, though. The original Kenku was a Japanese folklore, basically.
So wait. There's Kenku. What's Kenku and Tengu?
A Tengu. I can't remember what a Tengu is. I know I've heard the term. Let me look it up real fast.
The only reason I know is from Guild Wars. It used to be some sort of humanoid bird thing again. So maybe just slightly different. Maybe one's evil, one's good. Sort of thing.
Yeah. Tengu is also a from Japanese folklore, obviously. They're usually considered to be some kind of god or demon.
Oh, okay.
But But like the literal translation for Tengu is heavenly dog. So
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, Siwin just mentioned, yeah, is it dog-like creature? Weird.
yeah, yeah.
Huh.
But yes, Kenku are just like generally they're considered to be like crow people. And like whenever I see them sort of like being portrayed, they're like they're like they're like kind of like ooh shiny, but like super tricky and like mischievous. They make good thief characters a lot of
Cool.
times, but like some who just like slightly have are like slightly off kilter.
Right, right. And hey, Dan, Pat, how's it going? We're talking about our favorite like races in fantasies and RPGs. So feel free to join the conversation and let me know like from Elder Scrolls or from D&D or anything else. Like, what's your favorite like fantasy race?
Yeah, yeah. What about you, sir? Tell us your favorite races.
Oh, that's how it is, lols? Oh. Tengu are more humanoid compared to Kenku who are more bird-like. Interesting. Hey, Chuck Thompson? No, neither of those, Chuck.
Neither of those things.
No, races of fantasy. So like dwarves, elves, that sort of stuff. But yeah, gosh, you know what? I enjoyed really playing it as when I played D&D, but the Bullywugs.
Oh yeah, man, that thing's great. Yes, that is correct.
Right. Those damn stinky dwarves hoarding all their gold.
Darn elves with their art and stuff.
With their curled up little toes.
Right.
Can't buy socks from that at all.
We shouldn't get into it, but man, like there's some really good racial epithets for like fantasy characters.
No, there totally is. There's some really interesting stuff there. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Bullywugs. If you aren't like on the know of this, Bullywugs are basically like frog humanoids. They kind of live a much more tribal lifestyle and are a little bit more simple. But like it's really cool because they have like these interesting abilities like being able to jump very far distances and being able to swim really quickly. But it's I just really like it because I'm a huge fan of frogs, and it's just a real cool like alternate sort of character play.
For sure.
Oh, do you have it? Cool.
Yeah. I just dropped in a picture. Of
Bullywugs. With their art and culture, freaking elves.
Budget knockoff Ninja Turtle. Don't you be knocking the Battletoads, man.
The Battletoads. Oh man, are there? Oh yeah.
What?
Oh my gosh, really? Oh, it's hilarious, lols boys. Friggin' A.
Oh
You have an orc who's made a pact to kill all dwarves. Friggin' A.
Jeez.
Oh right, Chuck. Yeah. We shouldn't talk about that. Right. Step away from the copyright infringement.
Put it down. Step away. Everything's fine. Cool. Yeah. Let me also find these guys. Speaking of like weird frog like people.
No way, you have more options than that?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, man. These are sloths.
Sloth. Oh gosh, what are those? Are they playable characters? Or one's Wolverine, but really what?
Sloths are largely considered to be like not playable characters because they're like always evil.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they're yeah, that's right, Lol. Like, go grab that D&D book. It's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, man. Like, it's it's pretty intense. Like, sloths are like extra dimensional toad demons. They're bad news. they're just straight bad news.
Right. That's a good list of non-human creatures too there. Awesome.
Yeah, here we go.
But yeah, you're thinking sloths. Sloths are are from the TS lore, and actually they kind of look very similar. But they're these very large, like look amphibious, like weird, like mix a sloth and a slug together, and that's what a sload is.
Right. I mean, like, okay, so strictly speaking, sloths aren't toads. They're just like, or toads or frogs or anything like that. They're just toad-ish demons.
Right.
But yeah, like they're totally like. I was just thinking of frog people.
Yeah, and I think one of the weird things about what slodes in the TS lore is their main method of transportation isn't walking, it's teleporting or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Which is really weird. It's really weird.
That was terrible. It was terrible.
Nice. Awesome.
But anyways, like those are pretty cool. I enjoy this shit.
Right. But yeah, so I mean, I guess like speaking of like other races that aren't like animal, like those other sorts of races. I guess I always enjoy smithing and crafting in games that I play,
Right.
so I usually like playing dwarves if I can't
Makes
play
sense.
like a more animalistic thing.
Yeah, and that tends to that lines up pretty evenly with what I've seen of you playing games.
Right.
But yeah, man, like I don't know. I think there's just such like a wealth of options in terms of like races and stuff, especially if you start considering like with slots and stuff, right? Like if your DM was amenable to it, you could totally play a slot. It would just require a particular type of gaming group, right?
Right.
So like once you open up that door, there's like all sorts of options.
You always end up
What's your
playing
least-
human. Well, it's interesting. Humans usually they have a bonus of some sort because they don't have like some other cool thing that the other races have. So like dwarves are always better at smithing, but they're vertically challenged. Like elves, they're very whimsical, but maybe they can't focus as well. Like that, I've seen that in a couple of different things of lore. And like
Yeah.
a human character usually has like their skills increase faster, or they have different feats that they can choose from like really early on that other like races wouldn't, because it's like a totally different culture.
Yeah.
But there's some bonuses to just being like a standard human fighter.
Well, so generally, Lovely, we were talking about just player characters, but I think we could expand it to like anything really, right?
Yeah, that's true too, yeah. No, yeah, humans are always the most flexible too. Like you could be a human wizard, a human barbarian, anything, where like if you're picking a dwarf, like you're probably not going to end up being like a rogue or an archer. Like that's usually classes you won't do. I mean, there's something to be said for being a rogue and being a dwarf, for just messing with devices and stuff like that. But there's certain classes you wouldn't choose if you had certain races. Hey, Dirge, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, we're talking about the different races that you find in fantasy games and RPGs. Fight the stereotypes, right. Fight the stereotypes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man.
And there's like totally some games that like let you fight the stereotypes super hard. Like Fate, right? Like there's no class options. You can just make it up.
That's true.
So like you could like play like a goblin that has like tiny like membranous wings so it can glide or some stupid shit, right? Like just there's all sorts of cool stuff going on in that game.
Really, Chuck? That's crazy. Wow, just a total like jack of all trades human. Hashtag not all Khajiits do skooma. Oh man. I do.
There's part of me that just wants to like No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I gotta say, like if we like shift our gears to like the beast races or fantasy races of the Elder Scrolls, when it comes to the beast races of the Khajiit and the Argonians, they have some really cool lore behind them. The fact that like the Argonians have such like an intense connection to Hist, which are basically like these god trees in the edges of their swamps, and there's places so deadly and toxic and dangerous in their swamps that even Argonians can't go there. Like,
Right.
there's some crazy shit dealing with their culture that's really awesome. Oh, really? That'd be crazy, Laws Boys. Some sort of player version character of a beholder. That'd be crazy.
I'm not familiar with those rules, Chuck. Like, do you remember what edition that was out of?
Oh yeah. No, yeah, true that. And I'm a big fan of the Khajiit as well. They have some very interesting lore too. Like the Khajiit that we always see are just one version of Khajiits. There are Khajiits
Right.
that are the size of house cats, and then there's Khajiits that are the size of tigers that are still as sentient as the other Khajiits we've seen. They go by different like names, but like it's really cool to like if they did have like Elder Scrolls 6 in the area where is it Elsewhere? Yeah, Elsewhere. Like you'd actually have NPCs who are like house cats giving you quests because they're just Khajiits of different size.
And then there's a blue Khajiit.
Oh my.
But yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that during the Oblivion Crisis? Yeah, the Argonians kicked the Daedra's ass because like it was just such like they had like everything fucking like ready to go. Like they just fucking went in there and kicked some ass. It was awesome. Yeah, there's some very. I almost wish there were. I really want some sort of time travel. I really would in the next Elder Scrolls game because there are events like the Oblivion Crisis that I'd love to see from like different countries' perspectives because they handled them so differently. I mean, hell, in Morrowind they had frickin' Ruddy Man or Scar rise from the grave, like basically the giant chitinous mass that is Aldaroon, like rose from the grave and fought the Daedra, like some crazy shit.
There's an interesting discussion happening in chat about dog-like races in the Elder Scrolls lore.
Yeah, there are some races in the Elder Scrolls lore that we haven't seen yet. They're either from different countries or places that we haven't been like as a character. But yeah, there's some wild stuff. I mean, there's wereboars, which is pretty fucking cool. I think there's snake people, like Naga type characters and stuff like that.
Aren't those the guys who are like off in the like the how the hell do I like what is it? It's like the continent that's supposed to be like based on Asia or whatever.
Oh, Akaviri.
Yeah.
Where's
Is that where they're from, or is that not what? Am I misremembering?
No, you got it. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't they have monkey people there?
Say what?
Don't they have monkey people in Akaviri?
I recall that.
Yeah,
that
something
sounds
like
accurate.
that. Yeah. Right, AI. Imagine being a Daedra, and all of a sudden you're walking out the gate, and you just step into like 10 feet of muck, and then giant freaking they've like crazy like thunder lizards that live down there. They're like crocodiles that can shoot lightning out of their mouth or some shit. It's crazy. But like imagine like you go to that hostile, you're getting the fuck out of there. You don't want to take that place over.
Right.
I don't know if there's any bird like races in the Elder Scrolls lore. I'd have to look that up. Some of the things
If there were.
If there were, yeah. But yeah, this is like some of the more obscure Elder Scrolls lore that is like in like the last paragraph in like a book that you never read all the way or something like that.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, true that, lols boys. Yeah, there's dragons that can take human form, which is pretty wild. Or like there's some people that are kind of like half dragon too, where they retain their human form, but like they like sometimes breathe fire, or like maybe there's something a little off about them, like they have scaly eyebrows. Like I've seen that before in a few games.
Yeah. I was thinking about bird people in the Elder Scrolls, and I was like, you know what? I'd like them to be like designed out of peacocks.
Or like, what if it was like a terror bird?
That'd be cool.
Like a terror bird.
I want that to be like more like barbarian race, though, right? I'm thinking of somebody like a more elegant,
okay.
courtly intrigue like race. Somebody like some kind of race of bird people who are like super into like oh, did you hear the rumors at court?
Squawk, 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 squawk. Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious. But yeah, flamingos. Even like a nefarious toucan, like hiding his beak under his wing. Like, there could be some really good stuff.
You can tell he's the villain of the play because of his long horn bill.
No, totally. Yeah. I would love that. That'd be great.
Oh, that's amazing. Tropes, the RPG. Actually, hilariously, there's a Kickstarter that finished not too long ago that is Tropes, the RPG. So
You're right, AI. Vulture people adept in necromancy.
oh shit, that'd be cool.
That'd be really fucking cool, though. They like scour the skies and it's like, I smell fresh corpses, and they like go down and like they have like these crazy wings and they like flap it like in like a circle and it just raises them from the dead. Oh man.
Yeah, Aarakocra. Those guys are like bird people.
Oh, let me see.
Yo, little boy.
Oh, this is D&D. Gotcha. Cool.
Not all vultures are necromancers. Oh god. Oh my bad. It's not all vultures are necros.
That's different.
It's different.
Right, just thinking of a plague doctor now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I can dig it.
Yeah. No, totally. I got you. Right. If you have a plethora of mana potions, who the hell cares? Oh man.
No, that's legit. I think that's cool.
When it comes down to it, like bird races in general in fantasies, like they have like a step up above a lot of other like beast races or human style races because usually they can fly or glide, which is huge.
Yeah. That's legit. Actually, something just occurred to me because like we've been talking about like, beast races and like avian races, and we've talked a little bit about reptile races. What we haven't touched on yet is insect races.
Oh,
I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this race in Dungeons and Dragons, specifically from a setting called Dark Sun, the Thri-Kreen. They are mantis people, and they're fucking badass.
No, totally. It's really cool. I've seen a few insect races and a few different types of lore, but they have some very interesting. They have some very interesting like sort of things because it's almost like they come with a natural like ambidexterity because they usually have a second set of arms.
Yeah.
And like there's some really interesting things about them, like sometimes there's sort of a hive mind sort of situation where if you're an insect person and you go into an insect town, you immediately know like what the problems in the town are and everything like that. So you just imagine being like some crazy psychic and you walk into town and you already know what quest you need to go on. That would be like being an insect person.
It's like you got a mini map already. It gives you an in character reason to have a mini map.
Right.
But no, like there's actually a weapon, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. I'd have to break out the book to try and figure it out. That's like specifically for Thri-Kreen. Like it's like weapons that they make that are specifically for them. That only Thri-kreen can wield with any level of like dexterity, because it not that it requires 4 arms, but it's designed to be held like in the like 2 arms on one side.
Right, right.
I don't know if it's the chakram thing or not, man. Like I can't rightly remember it. I'd have to go looking for it.
But yeah, that's where like if you wanted to use it like as a human, like you would have to get it specially retrofitted or something like that, because it's made to fit the carapace of an insect race.
Yeah, that sounds right. Githka sounds about right. But yeah, like no, it's like this. It's a fucking weird ass weapon, and I love it. And yeah, like if you wanted to like use it in as like as a human, or any race that only has 2 arms, which is like all of them, like yeah, I feel like most DMs would probably allow it, but like at a penalty or something.
Oh no, yeah, totally, yeah.
Like in 3.5, I'd say probably like yeah -2 or whatever the hell it was. But like in 5th edition, and it might actually be more harsh to do this, I'd probably just deny you your proficiency bonus, which at higher levels sucks.
Yeah, Chuck, that's awesome. And yeah, Zerg are kind of like, they have like an insect type thing too, because yeah, they have sort of a hive mindy sort of aspect.
Yeah.
And yeah, AI.
Yeah, lots of aliens are like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of aliens that definitely take that sort of ant or bee style hive mind situation.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, because it makes these very interesting battles if you're ever battling them, because you're not just battling one, you're battling in a whole entire army that communicates with each other. So they always know where you are unless you've lost sight with them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
that is rough.
That is a very interesting thing too, because there are some beast races in fantasy that they can actually take control or manipulate the actions of like lesser beings that are of the same beast. So like you were saying, like a psychic snake type character that could take control of snakes. Yeah, that's a thing that sometimes does happen. Like there are toads alongside battle toads and like things like that, and like because they're the same creature essentially, they can like sort of be like, well, let me ask this frog buddy of mine, you know, what he saw, and you can speak frog basically. So it's actually kind of cool how that can happen sometimes, where you can sort of, as a beast race, connect with the actual beast that like represents you. And yeah, holy shit, Laws Boys, we haven't even gotten into that yet. Like plant people, or yeah, myconids, which are mushroom people, which have sort of a hive mindy situation too.
Yeah, I think like the myconid thing is like, and plant people in general, like is less hive mind to like my recollection, and more like just like scent and pheromone based, but like because it's sort of like communal discussion thing, it's like yelling to everybody and they can all just hear you.
Yeah, it's almost hive mindish, but it's based on yeah.
It's sort of like this localized, like just instant communication thing. Super cool. I love it when fantasy races get into that whole thing where they like start really delving into like different ways of communication other than just talking.
You can't think plant people except that vault from New Vegas. Holy shit, yeah. Talking about creepy plant people.
Right.
The spore carriers.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, there's but yeah, it's pretty cool, the plant people. I mean, they usually have like the big weakness of they are weak to fire damage, but like they have some very interesting stuff, like they're usually more resistant to bleeding because it runs the same like velocity as sap. And like they usually have some form of like healing, or like sometimes they don't even have to eat. Like they just need water and just sunlight, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's actually oh Chuck.
Yeah, sorry, Chuck.
I'm sorry, man.
Let me take a look at that link for you. Yeah, we have a link thing.
Oh yeah, just Dark Sun.
Oh cool, yeah. Awesome.
Legit. Where is
oh yeah, lols boys. I forget what they're called, but yeah, they're the dark dwarves. The ones that were like driven underground and stuff like that. What are those guys called? I feel like they have a specific name.
They do.
But yeah, I remember those guys because they were originally dwarves and then they actually changed into something else. Oh, deep dwarves?
Sometimes, yeah. There we go. Duergar.
Oh, Duergar. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, let me get you guys.
Boop. You got it? Cool.
Yeah. Wikipedia link.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're usually not that big, Wayne.
Although, yeah.
But I guess they could be.
Yeah, it depends. Like, I suppose. But yeah. I mean, like, Ents, like, I usually think of them as a creature rather than a playable race because usually, I mean, here's the way I see it. If you're playing, like, and you have a D&D party and, like, one of your dudes is an Ent, like a giant freaking, like, oak tree, big-ass Ent, pretty much, he just sits in front of the dungeon, like, in front of the ruins, like this, and waits for you outside to make sure nobody follows you.
Right.
Although,
that is
hilariously, correct. Imagine if you played a rogue Ent, and you used camouflage. It's like, you just stand there, like, on watch, and then if anybody gets too close, you're just like, whoosh! And you just, like, knock him out of the way. Oh man, that would be hilarious.
Be good.
I feel like, oh man, we should do a campaign where it's actually all non-human races and it's all beast characters working together. Not even necessarily like typical player characters, but like Ents, and like it would be so funny to have like, I don't even know, like a mind flayer. Sometimes you can play them.
Yeah, there's definitely rules to do so.
But yeah, and security guards would be friggin' awesome. You really want to do that? Yeah. Oh man.
I commend you, Lawboy. I do not want to run that game.
I feel like it would get crazy though. It would get really.
It would be a clusterfuck. Like that game's gonna be a clusterfuck.
Right. I feel like you'd probably not have to run that in D&D. You'd have to run that in something else because shit would get way out of hand.
I'd totally run it in Fate. Like, that'd be easy.
Right. But no, don't like, isn't in D&D there's certain things you can play, but like there's some weird level penalty. Like before you can reach level 2, you have to level up like 17 times beforehand or some shit.
In 3.5, they did like that negative level penalty thing. Just sort of like make it so that it was so that like your starting stuff, like you had to like make up the extra difference between you and everyone else. That way, when you finally did start to get levels for real, like other people would be like at the same level as you. 5th edition doesn't really do that. Like 5e has this thing where they 5e has this thing where they just like make a super weak version of the thing instead of like making it super badass to start with. Oh yeah, here we go, Mind Flayers. Yeah, they're sort of like that, Wayne. Yeah, Illithids, they're crazy. Ving was just mentioning these guys like a second ago.
Yeah, Mind Flayers, yeah. Crazy things. That is too fucking funny, Dirge. Holy shit.
I'm gonna have to read that at some other point.
Friggin' A. That's true. Yeah. But no, totally. I think it's. Here. Oh, you have something?
Sort of. I was wondering where the hell my Dark Sun books were. Right here. I was just looking at them and not seeing them.
But no, totally.
happens.
I think the coolest thing is like even just being a dwarf or an elf, I think is really friggin' cool.
Yeah, like to get to sort of like pull it back to like be classic and shit, right? Like it's really interesting to like just play something that's close to being a human that's like different than being a human.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it's really cool because all of a sudden, like, yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Wait, what? Yeah, there's some interesting things like that, Chuck Thompson. Yeah, the elves are vulnerable to iron like dwarves to water. There's some very interesting things when it comes to like the lore of different creatures.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think though, like there's some games though that like the Elder Scrolls, and I wish sometimes like you got to see a little bit more of the lizard history in like the Argonians. So like,
Right.
imagine playing the Elder Scrolls, and like one of the big things you like, imagine if it was like survival, but like one of your big things was like you had to go and bask on a rock to gain like the internal temperature for you to go and adventure inside of a cave. Like I feel like that'd be really cool.
That'd be interesting for sure. Like somehow like your internal heat was like a was like a like mechanically accounted for in some way.
Oh yeah, Chuck? Interesting. And that's why they always drink beer. There you go.
Dude, you were like so still there for a second.
Oh,
I thought
was
I
I?
lost you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I'm here. If you're wondering why my side over here is lower quality, it's because technically I'm taking 2 screen captures, and like I'm like a tiny little screen in like the lower corner of the Hangouts call. I'll figure it out at some point, but so far I have not figured out how to have like 2 window captures of 2 video feeds at the same time. Hey Kyo, how's it going? Good to see you. Oh yeah? Cool. Right, yeah, and there's some things like that, Lols Boys, that is kind of interesting, where different races age differently, right? So, like, elves can sometimes live for hundreds of years, and dwarves as well, but, like, things like orcs and goblins, like, old to them might be 16, 24, 40 maybe, in some cases. Like, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm not sure AI. Yeah, I'd have to look into that. That's more somewhere obscure ESO lore I'm not sure about.
Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah, the orcs, the live fast, die young race.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, like there's a game called Burning Wheel, which is they have the option to play orcs in it, and they, generally speaking, the orc player characters burn out really fast, like really fast.
No, yeah, totally.
Just because of the way they're like built. They have a mechanical sort of countdown doom clock called Hatred. As soon as it goes like all the way to the top, you fly into a mindless rage and go bloodthirsty and just kill everything until you get killed.
Holy shit. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So that's why we never played any other.
That's why we don't play orcs.
Right. That's why we don't play orcs.
Right.
But no, totally, Lols Boys. Yeah, yeah. There was a time, yeah, when beer was safer than water because, yeah, beer
alcohol,
didn't
man.
contain all those nasty things because it was all cooked and prepared. Yeah. Combo them with a berserker class, the never-ending berserker. It's like
If
the
there were classes in Burning Wheel, that might work, but
right. But no, totally. It reminds me of in Skyrim and a few other things. You always see like old orcs that are like, I've fought for like, you know, I think they've last a bit longer than humans, if I recall correctly, because they're technically elves in the Elder Scrolls. But yeah, like, you know, I've for years and years I've you know, tried to find someone who can end me in battle because that's an honorable death, and they just keep fucking going because they're so good at it. That's like Umbra and stuff like that.
AI, I'm going to say that's the most horrifying thing I've ever like considered. That there's like this orc, that there's an orc who has 40 years of fighting experience.
No, yeah, totally.
Holy shit.
Right, right. Like that would be amazing. Like, yeah, some sort of orc warlock or orc necromancer that extends his own life or something like that. And because, you know, normally they'd burn out so quickly, he just has so much more experience than anybody else in fighting. Yeah, holy crap.
Right.
But then it's kind of weird because I always find sometimes these sort of like age differences between races gets a bit weird, because you can have people like elves that are like inexperienced, but they're like 102 and that's considered teenagers.
Right.
So like it's this weird thing where you have an orc who's maybe like 6 years old, has already killed a man and knows how to forge a claymore, and you've got like an elf in his hundreds who's like goes to the plays every day and the opera and like talks about book club or whatever elves do. Like, it's pretty wild.
Nope.
Nope, just none of that. Nope.
Nope.
That's true, yeah. Orcs sometimes are depicted as elves that were basically exposed to evil stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's like the backstory to... That's the backstory to the Drow in D&D too. Like,
oh yeah,
they worshipped like the wrong god and got like smote by one of the other gods. It was weird.
Oh yeah, same thing with dark elves.
Yeah,
dark elves were basically the like demon worshipping elves.
Yeah,
that eventually were like, hey, the demons aren't really doing much for us. Let's take these other false gods.
Right.
And then then the original demons were like, what? And then like they changed them and friggin' they're all like red eyed and have like dark gray to blue skin now.
Right. I feel like there was another thing that I was gonna say about Drow, but I can't remember what it is now. Never mind.
They're pretty friggin' cool though.
They're cool. Oh, that was it. Drow actually have like a super interesting culture. Like, as evil and terrible as they are, like, it's kind of funny that they're portrayed that way because like they're a completely matriarchal society and they worship like a lady god who tends to like, you know, hate on men. It's just funny that that's how that works.
Yeah, some do get hurt by sunlight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like an actual weakness within for like D&D Drow. Like they have bad stuff that happens when they're in direct sunlight. It's bad.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, yeah, super mutants at some points can be considered orcs.
Right.
Big, green,
that's fair.
dumb.
Big, huge, like, berserkery type people, green. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Really, Janara, interesting. I didn't know that. They, like, really need to, like, have, like, direct content to the intervention. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Sometimes they are, Dirge.
Right. It depends. Depending on lore, like if you can be born a vampire, you would consider them to be a race. But if you have to be like turned into a vampire, it's probably like a disease.
Well, yeah, that's true. And then same thing with werewolves and other things like that too. Sometimes you're born a werewolf, sometimes you're changed, which makes a very interesting thing because sometimes you have like clashes between the people who have been turned and the people who are like natural werewolves.
Right.
So you have there's
a funny thing in a game called a canonical series called The World of Darkness, or as it's been rebranded, Chronicles of Darkness recently. There's a like werewolves are born, like not any person can become a werewolf, like they've got like a particular heritage to them, but they can't actually become werewolves until they encounter another werewolf who bites them.
Oh, interesting. So it's like a dormant disease or a dormant thing that awakens once they're bitten again.
Exactly. Like you're born that way, and eventually, if you run into somebody who is also a werewolf, they bite you, and then you are able to become a werewolf and like fully awaken or whatever. It's an interesting take.
No,
I kind of it's different.
Yeah, it's sort of like, it's very interesting because it brings that whole like, you know, who is a dormant werewolf? Mm-hmm. If like the people are in the know, and then it becomes a strange like wolf hunt.
Right. The other thing is that like I believe that there's a way for like actual werewolves, like the ones who have been like awakened to their wolf self, like can tell. Like it's like a smell or a spell or something.
Right. But what's so cool about it, I think, is that it can go generations and nobody knows, which I think is pretty cool too.
That's actually really funny, Chuck. that tickles me greatly.
there's yes. Fucking great, Chuck. Holy shit.
I don't ask these questions.
It's the werewolf dating app, Werewolves. Oh, great.
Did the first werewolf bite himself then? I don't know, man.
Well, okay, so this is how I sort of have seen it in the past. There are some werewolves who cannot change at all. And I think in the Underworld series of movies, the first werewolf could not change. Like, he was always a wolf.
Right.
And like, it was basically the transference of his bite that would transform people, but it was like only the full moon, and then like as it progressed, like people could change like at will. And there's like that huge range of like never changing, only full moon, rage mode.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to remember some of the lore for the World of Darkness werewolves now. I'm actually thinking about it. I think there's some like origin like myth about how the moon gave them the power to turn into wolves.
Oh, like a moon god, or like?
Yeah, like the moon goddess, like
right.
gave them the power to do so.
Yeah, it's similar to the Elder Scrolls. Hercene is the god of the hunt, and he's the one who gave the werewolf gift to his best hunters.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know.
No, yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah, there are other ones too. Yeah. Yeah, true that. And the werewolf the vampire in the Elder Scrolls series, they were created from the Daughters of Cold Harbor. They had a bad time with Molag Bal.
Yeah. Oops.
Jeez.
Anyways,
that's when he did Daedra pepper spray.
Right. Also, I don't know. I kind of dig this whole like we don't actually know the exact science thing. Like AI asked the question like, well, how did the first werewolf become a werewolf? Like, I kind of like when it's just sort of like a legend that's been passed down within like the culture since like forever and always. I dig that when there's not a real explanation. There's just a myth.
No, totally, yeah. Like, it's either oral tradition or something that's degraded over time and nobody really knows, like literally nobody knows like the origin. Yeah. And they come up with theories occasionally and do research, but like nobody can really know because it's like that far back. Right. Sheogorath for life.
um, who's the Daedra that's like a Cthulian horror who loves books?
Oh, that's Hermaeus Mora.
I dig it. Like just generally, I dig it.
No, yeah, totally. He's the basically the Daedra of forbidden knowledge. He
Right.
like hoards
And, like,
all of this stuff that like nobody's supposed to know.
and I kind of love it when like there are gods of like weird like things that people aren't supposed to do, like forbidden knowledge, right? Like who the hell's gonna own up to the fact that they are a follower of Hermaeus Mora, right? Like,
You know, we should
not a
probably
fucking person.
we should probably do a stream on ancient gods in RPGs. I think that'd be really fucking
Okay.
cool.
I can deal with that.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing we should talk about. But yeah, they have crocodilians and weresharks. Fuck yeah.
Right.
Although I feel
Dude,
bad for the
let's talk
guy
about-
who like
let's talk
turns
about
into a
were
wereshark on land. I just
That'd be
imagine
rough.
you're like go in the woods and then you hear a strange like plop, 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 plop. And you come to a clearing and you just see this weird like shark flopping on the side.
Yeah. I don't know. I think weresharks is like a weird notion, quite frankly.
No, I mean I'm describing them as being silly flopping fish, but they probably have like frickin' like crazy claws and bipedal and just scary as all fuck.
Let me see if I can find a picture
Like street
of
sharks.
this shark thing. What? Street sharks? Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
right, Chuck, exactly. Exactly. They like pizza. They all wear big sneakers. Yeah. Oh gosh, the mannequin race. No. Not the mannequin race.
Okay. I think show me this. I hope it's the right size. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Street sharks for real, bros.
Let me see. Oh, holy shit, that's badass.
Ain't it though? There's a I don't think I can find it. I saved it a long fucking time ago. It's this picture of like a bunch of like highly trained like military types like in like total combat gear, like getting ready to like go like fuck some shit up, but they're getting their asses handed to them by like this man shark like genetic experiment type thing. It's got like a number written on him. It reminded me very much of Street Sharks, and I was just like, okay, that's cool. And yeah, that thing's badass. Need more of that.
Oh my gosh, AI. Roll damage for a wereshark. Nat 20. Flop onto the bandit and use my rough skin to shred the flesh off his face.
No!
Oh man.
The worst. That is the worst.
But no, like werebores, yeah, we talked about like a few of the cool, like obscure, like Elder Scrolls things. Like, I can just imagine like some weird like hermit werebore who collects mushrooms, because he's like a truffle boar.
Right.
I think that's called long pig, Chuck Thompson.
Please no.
Or extra long pork.
Oh no, it's even worse.
Werebore bacon.
Let's talk for a second about weregators, shall we?
Oh, holy
Since we're on the
shit.
topic of rare creatures.
Right.
That might be the entire second that we spent talking about it, but
But no, totally. I played a weregator in a game at one point. But like it wasn't I turned into a bipedal gator. It was I turned into an actual like animal gator. It was so funny because one of the things I did as that sort of character was I played him as like a completely like lazy ambush predator. So he'd basically like sneak up like a dude, like I played him as like some redneck dude, and he'd basically be on his belly, like crawling like through the bushes, and he'd like just like wait there and like watch people, and then like whenever he attacked people, it was just like all of a sudden you see like this alligator jumping through the air, like overall still on his shoulders, trailing behind him like a cape, and it's awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I fucking loved it. Yeah, man, like your crowning victory with regard to that was like ambushing a vampire or something.
No, yeah, totally. Holy shit! I think I ripped his leg off or something. Like, did the whole death roll thing.
You had like you got so much damage on that guy. It was insanity.
Holy shit! But no, there are certain like combos, like when it comes to beast races, that are incredibly kick ass.
Legit.
Yeah.
Like absolutely that. Ah, so good. So good.
Right, AI. Oh man. No, we haven't streamed any role playing games before. Mostly because
we tried to stream Microscope a while back.
Yeah,
but that didn't work out so well.
No, that was more of like a world building thing, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it's I think we'll do some D&D in the future. I'd definitely like to do that. My
It'd be neat.
Yeah, my graduation, or sorry, my not graduation, my postgraduate online classes are coming to an end soon, so I'll have a little bit more time to devote to the stream and maybe plan something like a cool tabletop adventure.
That'd be cool. I'd do it.
Oh, but yeah. Sometimes there are Vulpines or like fox type people and canine humanoids. Yeah.
Yeah. Kitsune are like fox people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're legit. That's not like just straight a fantasy race though. That's like part of like Japanese mythology again.
True that. Mm-hmm.
I find the Japanese have some really cool like racial options.
No, yeah, totally. Yeah. Like they have some really interesting monsters and a lot of them.
Yeah, that's right, Shiwayne. Roll20 is an online like tabletop app
Mm-hmm.
that you can use. It's super cool. It's free.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, guys.
The one I played at Weregator, it was what game was that? That was
Dresden Files.
Dresden Files. Yeah.
We then did it. You then played him again for the Dresden Files accelerated playtest that we did.
That's true. Yeah. That was pretty sweet.
Again, super badass.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what? There's other races that are pretty cool, and they're sort of like the half demon races in certain games, and you see them a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like in D&D, there's the, I forget what they're called, but they even have a demon tail, and sometimes they have horns.
Jesus Christ.
Right, Law's voice. Holy shit.
Damn it, Law's. Yeah, like tieflings in Dungeons and Dragons are the straight like half demon.
Right.
Neither half devil. I can't remember. There's a difference. But like you see like demon blooded like races in all sorts of like mythology.
True that.
The opposite way is like angel blooded people.
Oh yeah, sometimes they're cool too, like the seraphim or something like that. Or
yeah, seraphim is a class of like angels in like Christian heraldic mythology. But yeah, the Asimur are the ones I was thinking of in D&D.
Oh, cool. I think sometimes they're called Nephilim as well. Yeah.
Yes, Nephilim's again one of those like actual real world examples. But yeah, they're cool. I think I vaguely recall Nephilim getting thrown around in a in the fuck, what the hell is that?
Well, there's Diablo 3, where I think you are a Nephilim.
Yeah. I was thinking about a movie though. Can't remember. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, Daedroth are like your crocodile people. Cherubim. Oh gosh. I just imagine some like
cherubim for us.
Holy shit! Like, how hilarious would that be to play as like a cherub, like full-grown cherub character, where you're like a somewhat portly dude who wears a diaper and has a bow.
Right. Oh god. Oh god. Here we go. This one works.
It'd be so funny though. Oh gosh, it reminds me of that one video. Cherub. There was one video I remember, and it's had a lasting effect on me, and I feel like we usually don't do like YouTube videos at all, but I feel like I need to show this to you guys because holy shit.
Dang. Fing breaking his own rules.
Right. Sometimes there has to be exceptions.
Just bonuses to charm, charisma, and archery.
Right.
That's legit. Yeah, that works. I can get behind it. Not the cherub. The idea.
Let me see here. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, everybody, you're gonna have to watch this with me.
Or are we just gonna put it on the stream?
We're just... I don't know how to do it, but just take a look at this.
Okay. Oh god, oh no! Nico! No!
Oh my gosh. But take a look at that, because that is the first thing that comes to my mind when like you have like a cherub race, is this frickin' commercial. Oh my gosh.
Let me do this. Oh god!
Holy shit.
The cat is...
if you're just watching on YouTube and you can't find the link, it's look up Cupid just loves his Valentine's Day job, and it's a video of Cupid firing arrows, but like they have the force of actual arrows, so like people are walking down the street and all of a sudden they get struck and like they fall over. Oh man. Unfortunately, that one's a bad quality. I think there's some other ones.
Oh god!
Oh shit, it's so awesome. Just people doing their daily thing. Some little girl's doing skip rope and she's like, oh gosh! Oh man, holy shit.
Oh shit, okay. Oh, that guy took it in the knee. Never mind. He'll never be a town's guard again.
Nope, he won't.
Or he'll never be an adventurer again. He's gonna have to be a town's guard.
Holy shit.
My man.
But yeah, normally I don't do the whole YouTube things as links, mostly because, like, as a video-based media, I don't want other, like, to distract away, if you know what I mean. Like, sometimes mobile doesn't allow you to easily open up another tab and stuff like that, so it's tough for me to be like, let's just sit here as I, like, watch my screen and watch this together, and then, like, people on mobile are like, I'm just watching a guy watching another thing. So I'm trying to avoid stuff like that.
Dude, that business lady who was just walking down the street like goes over that fucking fence. That was great.
I know.
Oh, the girl skipping rope, like she flies back. That was great. I love it.
They do it so well. Like the force of the arrow just makes it freaking fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Oh!
So that's what I imagine if you have like a cherub race. Like you have this dude. Oh, it works fine on your mobile phone? Okay. Alright. You know. But you know me, I'm trying to do constant action, you know, constantly doing something. I don't want to stop and be like, let's all take a look at this video and like go like this and just watch the screen. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
There's just a there's just like this like a like a blank that you put up, like a picture of you doing this
Yes.
every time you put it up whenever you need to take a break and watch a YouTube video.
Also, I'm highly distractible, so that's a problem I'm trying to avoid.
That's also true.
Right. Some of them like hit by the force of ballista and get punted, right? But no, that's what I imagine, man. Just like some like cherub, big, happy, with a big diaper, but like he lets loose a freaking arrow, and people are like, "Holy shit!" Like it hits them with a lot of force, but like it doesn't actually hurt them because they're supposed to bring love to people's life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it works better in a talk show, Leo. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh God, I'm still kind of chuckling about Chuck Thompson being like, "See, those bonuses ain't no joke." After he was talking about getting the bonuses for charm, charisma, and archery.
No, totally, yeah.
Legit, I buy it. I can run with that.
Holy shit!
Oh, too good.
All right, sweet. Fine. So yeah, I think we'll stop there for the day for the talk show.
Legit.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably keep talking about races, and maybe we'll even do like this was like an overview. We could even specialize and be like, here's Dwarf Day or something like that, and just talk about.
We didn't really talk about dwarves that much.
No, not really. This is more like the beast races of fantasy mostly. So we could always go back to those topics. But I think next week I'm actually really into the ancient gods and stuff like that of RPGs. I feel like would be a really cool thing to talk about. Legit.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it a lot.
But yeah, so I'm going to switch over to Darkest Dungeon. So I hope you guys enjoyed the talk show. We normally do this every Wednesday. It starts at 5:30, usually goes on for an hour or a little bit more. And then I go towards the other game I'm playing. But yeah, we're going to do Darkest Dungeon after this. Yeah. So I'm going to switch to the title screen. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back in just a second. I just need to switch the title and everything. I'll be back with some Darkest Dungeon. So yeah, be back in just a second. Oh, and of course, thanks for joining me, Saberwolf.
No problem.
And thanks for joining us, chat. I'll be back in just a second with some Darkest Dungeon. See you in a bit.
All right. Later, guys.